Well, to give us some context, some colour, some texture, and least of all, but most important, insight, I'm going to hand over to Doreen Wang. Doreen wasn't in the room when I spoke slightly earlier before, so I just want to repeat what I said there, which is I just want to say an amazing thanks to Doreen. I've been partnering with Doreen for a number of years on BrandZ, and I'm absolutely privileged to be able to work with somebody as good, talented, and as good fun as Doreen. So, Doreen Wang, the Global Worldwide Director for BrandZ for Millward Brown. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, David. Welcome, everyone, to the BrandZ party. BrandZ is the largest brand equity building platform in the world. In the past 12 years, we have researched and valued over 122,000 brands in 51 country markets. And BrandZ is being rated as the most rigorous and consumer-oriented ranking approach. We have interviewed over 3 million consumers in the world, and by using Kantar, Millward Brown's MDS framework, how meaningful, different, and salient the brands exist in the minds and hearts of the consumers, which is impacting their purchase journey. I actually did some calculation. Winning any award out of 120,000 brands is statistically more difficult than winning the Academy Award. So congratulations for winning the Oscar of marketing. Let's give ourselves some applause. Why do we need to build strong brands? We always ask ourselves that question. Better margin, fend off competitor, but more important than that, strong brands generate superior shareholder returns. In the past 12 years, the global top 100 outperformed S&P by a massive 70% and more than 3 times better than MSCI. And to us, more interesting is, during the challenging year, 2008 and 2009, both strong brands and average brands dropped their share price. However, it only took strong brands half a year versus the average brands 4.5 years to recover. So we definitely need to keep that in mind. As marketers and brand builders, marketing, brand building is not cost. It is the most important investment any company should make to ensure long-term sustainable growth, especially in the AI and digital era, because the strong brand's advantage is increasing year after year. How do we value brand? 2 important steps. Step 1 is financial value. Financial value created by a brand of any company. And we use public data, Bloomberg data, Kantar World Panel, and Kantar Consulting data as validation. So the perception needs to be validated by real consumer behavior. Step number 2 is brand contribution, the proportion of financial value generated by the brand's ability to increase your purchase volume or charge premium. Because of the strength of the brand, consumers want to buy more or pay more for you. And these 2 steps combined, and we get the final brand value. And in the past 12 years, we found that the second step, consumers' endorsement, their love is very important. And those brands enjoy high brand power, and strong brand endorsement is growing their brand value, which is more than 3 times higher than the other brands. 2018, as David mentioned earlier, is a record year. And we have, the top 100 have grown by a massive 21% and reached the $4.4 trillion. Whoa, 4.4 trillion looks big. It's actually very big. It is almost equal to the country GDP of Japan. 100 brands' value is equal to the 3rd largest economy in the world. And our top 5, Google and Apple, 2 of the most innovative brands, remain as number 1 and number 2. Google, from driverless car to machine learning and to surgery exploration, medical exploration, and Apple, the launch of iPhone X and Watch 3. And these 2 brands keep enriching consumers' lives. And we have a new number 3, which is Amazon, an ecosystem brand from e-commerce to music to video to Alexa. Don't answer. And it is building and setting the bar higher and higher for delivering great convenience. And Microsoft, very successful in cloud and hybrid cloud business, and Microsoft is also our top B2B brand. Every year when we talk about top 5, we had to say they're all from the United States. Not anymore. And the monopoly is being broken by a Chinese guy, Tencent, and a leading social media platform. But Tencent is not one brand. Tencent is a house of brands, and all the way from social media to online gaming to mobile payment and all the way to transport booking. And that Tencent is keep expanding their social and ecosystem surrounding consumers' lives. Speaking of fast, yes, you don't need me to tell you we live in a fast age, but here is a fast example. The total value of the top 100 in 2006 is even less than today's top 10, the brand value. And among the top 10, 8 are from the United States and 2 from China. And we talk about Tencent. The other one is, can you make a guess? Alibaba, yes, the famous Alibaba, the e-commerce platform. So when we look at the past 7 years, yes, the tech 5, we call them Fearsome 5 or Friendly 5. You can call them anything. And Google, Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Facebook, and they increase their value by a massive, almost 200%, triple their brand value. And during the same time, there are other technology companies, we call them China Trailblazers, Tencent, Alibaba, Baidu, Huawei, and JD.com. They have grown their value by a phenomenal 12 times. And we believe that the battle between the West and the East, especially between US and China for the technology leadership, is escalating. And so speaking of the top 10, let's travel back, riding the time machine and travel back to 12 years ago. Picture yourself. You're riding your Toyota and get some cash from Citibank and stop by at Walmart and bought a pack of Coca-Cola and maybe a pack of Marlboro. And these are still very, very strong brands. But they are not in the top 10 anymore because consumers' purchase journey have changed. Last week, my 10-year-old boy picked up iPhone and talked to Siri and then changed to Alexa and ordered some batteries and delivered in our front door the next day. When I asked who ordered it, and he blamed Alexa. And the emergence of the next generation of brands is along with the digitalization and mobilization of consumers' purchase journey. And speaking of fast, these guys are fast. These are the top 20 fast risers from the top 100 and category risers. JD.com is an leading e-commerce platform in China, and PayPal, Netflix, Tesla, lots of tech brands, and not only them, and we have also seen luxury brands, Dior and Louis Vuitton, and Adidas, sportswear brands, and Shiseido, cosmetic brand from Japan. But they have one thing in common, and that is they are very meaningfully different. And that they are disruptive and they deliver great brand experience. When we look at the top 20 risers compared to the top 100 average, and that they are performing better on each of these three important consumer perception, especially they're able to shaking things up and deliver great experience. The higher you want to go, the better you need to do. And the world is not just fast, but also moving around. When we look at the brands contributed, the regional brand contributed to the global top 100, North America growing from 63% to now 71%, as mentioned earlier. China from just 3%, one brand, and now to 14 brands, 14%. The other regions are also growing, but at a relatively modest rate. And it's also for the first time ever, the top 20 B2B brand is growing faster than the global top 100 overall. And many of the B2B brands are from technology industries, but they are showing a shift to cloud-based business model. It is led by Microsoft. And also we have observed that the borderline between B2B and B2C is disappearing. And many of the B2B brands are successfully transforming themselves into a B2H brand, business to human. And across the 14 categories, this is the first time ever we have seen that all the 14 categories has increased their value, and they share some common theme. For example, disruption, disintermediation, differentiation are the keywords in all these categories. Just give you some example. Amazon effect. Yes, new brand and the non-brand and start selling on Amazon and based on the trust of consumer reviews and give you more choices, but in the meantime, and give a lot of new challenges to the established and the legacy brands. Voice commerce alone, the sales is going to become $40 billion only in the United States in the next 4 years. Yes, there are more choices and more convenience, but we as consumers are relying more and more on Alexa, on the algorithm to make that decision for us. And AI is not just a concept anymore. AI is moving from idea to reality. If you're going to China, the airport and the banks, facial identification is a must-have. And the fintech, the emerging tech portents category transformation. And because of these disruptions, and we are seeing that the composition of the global top 100 has shifted from consumer brands to tech brands. 12 years ago, consumer brands is contributing to 32% of the top 100. Now that number is reduced to 15%. And instead, tech brands from just a third to more than a half. And the tech is not tech. And there are a lot of tech-related brands. And the manufacturer brands, cosmetics brands, they are partnering with tech brands to deliver superior consumer experience. For example, Budweiser partnered with Lyft to avoid drunk driving, and Uber Eats and the McDonald's partnership, Nestle with Starbucks. We are living in the era of partnership. If you cannot deliver the experience by yourself, you can always find a partner to collaborate. Yes, in a disruptive world, one thing remains unchanged. That is our human nature. We still persistently pursue comfort, convenience, and very willing to compromise. So when ideal meets real, we value authenticity over perfection. So healthy eating is not just about salad. A hamburger could be enjoyable if it is fresh and locally sourced beef. And the news is getting increasingly depressing. Consumer wants to escape from it. And lots of luxury brands and realize that change and giving you very bold color and streetwear styles. And so they can capture these consumers' mood change. And when disruption is shaking hands with comfort, a lot of categories are going through transformation. Here are just a few. Telecom is moving from telco providers to, what are they calling themselves now, telcos? Content brands, bingo. And how about oil and gas? Not oil and gas anymore. Who are they now? Energy, new energy, sustainable energy, and Shell is a great example. Not Coke drinks anymore. What are they? Healthy soft drinks. Yeah, and the car brands, not car brands anymore. They are becoming mobility brands. Wow, did you see my presentation? Okay, and the retail. And changing from retail to experience, to e-commerce, No, there is a newer term announced by Jack Ma 4 months ago. It's called new retail ecosystem. It's not O2O anymore. It is O plus O, online plus offline. Amazon, Whole Foods, and Alibaba and JD all acquiring a lot of retail and the traditional retail and the supermarket. So the online experience is bringing to offline, and the new ecosystem is building around it. And so, in this new retail disruptive world, how can we build strong brands? Before I share with you some key lessons, I want to ask you a tricky question. Can you make a guess? In the past 10 years, how many brands have been displaced? Any guess is correct. Any guess? How many brands have dropped out? 50. Any other guesses? 30. Okay, any other guesses? Any bold guesses? They also say 100. Yeah, in India, CEO kept saying, it's 100. Wow, very good, not that fast. And the answer is 48. You're right again, almost half of the brands have been replaced. And so we welcome this year's new entrants. And 8 of them, they are from 7 categories and from every corner of the world. Yes, Uber, Instagram are very famous, but how about BCA? For the first time ever again, and we have Indonesia brands entering the global top 100. BCA is a leading bank very committed to provide financial support to the average Indo, especially the youth. And a lot of people are asking me this tough question. Is it more difficult to get into the global top 100? And my answer is yes, it's getting harder and harder. So when we look at the new entrants, they are stronger on brand power and brand premium. Also, they have a strong growth potential, and even compared to our remaining brands. But on the other hand, if you cannot keep up with that speed, and if you lose your momentum, and you're lagging behind and might be dropped out. So, how can we grow our value like that in the next decade? And in the AI era, there are 5 key lessons I'd like to share with the brand builders and the important partners. Lesson number 1. Strong brand, you need to have a strong purpose at the center of the organization. You need to understand why I exist. How can I make the world a better place, make people's lives better? Airbnb is not just an online hospitality. It is a place people feel I'm being accepted. And PayPal is not just a payment company. It is changing from payment company to protecting people economy. And those brands who have a strong purpose are able to grow their value more than twice than the average brands. And purposeful brands also have a lot of halo benefit, not just inspiring to your consumers, but more importantly, it is motivating your own employees. And they are more likely to be selected as best place to work. And lots of unicorn brands like LegalZoom, like Ancestry, and in China, like Tencent, and they all believe that, yes, we were born that way, but we have to live it every day. And the execution of a strong purpose is absolutely the key. With the purpose at the center of the organization, we still need to innovate. But no, innovation is not for the sake of innovation. And Jeff Bezos, the Amazon CEO, once said that, Amazon, we have thousands of innovation in the backyard, but a lot of them haven't been endorsed or recognized by the consumers. And so they are not disruptive. They are not useful at all. So only those brands perceived high by the consumers on innovation are able to grow the value, which is 7 times faster. This is by far our biggest driver. And innovation, like this is a vending machine, Alibaba's car vending machine, 1 click away, and the test drive is all yours. And the innovation is not just R&D investment. Those most innovative companies, they invest 35% more on communication, on advertising. But 35% more on advertising give you 7 times faster brand value growth. What a great ROI. And yes, we live in the digital era. The communication format is changing day after day. Yeah, these are the leading live streamers and augmented reality, and AI is becoming reality, and even drone marketing is getting popular at the traffic. And so the strong communication, the format is changing, but in the meantime, strong communication can still put you at a big, big advantage. We have seen that if you only have meaningfully differentiating proposition without great advertising support, your value growth is only 82%. But if you have both, strong proposition plus great communication to help announce it, amplify it, you're entering the sweet spot. You are more than doubling the average growth rate. And in the digital era, we will need more targeted, personalized ads with specific purposes to achieve. And no matter how many great things consumers hear about you, they won't believe it until they try it. And the brand experience is the critical time. Either you make it or you break it. And lots of brands are not just delivering one brand experience. They are starting to deliver this ecosystem experience. And if you cannot do it by yourself, please look beyond the category and find the right partner to co-deliver the great experience. And this guy, I have known him in person for 15 years, a personal friend. And he never called himself Chief Executive Officer. He always called himself Chief Experience Officer because he is the engine behind Alibaba Experience. And after great experiences being delivered again and again, love is being generated and accumulated. Brand cannot live on love alone, but love helps amplify it and sustain your value growth. And love is not just warm or nice. Love in the digital era is happening only after great experience. And we are human beings. And in this intangible and subjective aspects of choosing a brand definitely give us great pleasure. So if there is a pathway, to brand success, it starts from strong purpose to keep innovating and needs to be endorsed by the consumers, and the communication with all the different formats, but still you need to announce it and deliver a great experience. Love follows experience. And I keep telling the unicorn brands, no matter how innovative you are, you all have slow down time. Love is that cushion, which will give you time until your next big innovation happens. And this way, you are not just building a differentiating brand, but a meaningfully differentiating brand. At the foundation is what? Is actionable, future-proofing consumer insights. Accurate consumer insights of the foundation of everything you are doing. Kantar and WPP, we firmly believe that in the AI and digital era, technology-enabled but human-centric brands will win. It's not just technology, but focus on the human. Congratulations again to the global top 100 most valuable brands. We believe that you work with WPP, our great partners, you will continue to build strong brands that is beloved by the consumers and generate superior shareholder returns. Our best wishes. Thank you all very much for joining us today.